Hello everybody and welcome to the Jane live session where we are living in the now and we have a massive lineup of awesome case studies. I just want to thank all of you for being part of this. I want to thank everybody for manifesting such great health levels in such a very short space of time, and we're really on a winning formula here. The medical doctors call what we're doing miracle medicine, and let that be. Let's really take this into 2021 and beyond, so that more and more people can benefit from real health. So we definitely are on a roll, and it's just absolutely wonderful to be part of everything and be having this massive effect in the health realm. And I've always talked about there's the paradigm shift, and welcome to the dawning of the paradigm shift. And any of you who've been here and have seen the banner, my banner, my 365 Healthy by Choice banner, it's all been about the new paradigm shift. And just ever since whenever I can ever remember, I've known that there's this big paradigm shift coming. And so I suppose it was all part and parcel of planning for this time. Now, right now, when we're free and we're able to do what we're doing, and let's just be blessed with huge gratitude for that. So, as a company, we are attracting more and more professionals, more and more practitioners, and obviously expanding into more and more of the areas around the globe, which is fantastic. And before I go further, I just want to also remind you all that we have the Immune University lectures now on a Wednesday. They started yesterday. So if you have a look on our group, we posted the lecture notes, the videos and things, and I still need to download the full presentation, which I will do, and put it onto the YouTube. So that's very exciting. So, I'm no time's limited, but at least we do post the recordings, and that's on a Wednesday now at 7 o'clock South African time, SAST, which is Greenwich Mean Time plus 2 hours. And then on a Thursday now, we're having the live case studies, and it's also at 7 p.m. SAST, South African time, which is Greenwich Mean Time plus 2 hours. So we really welcome all of you. You always come in, and we normally live on Facebook, but today I need my phone because I need the pictures for all our live case studies. So I hope you're ready for some really awesome and fabulous results. Just before we do start the case studies, I wanted to talk about toxicity in the brain. And we had a marvelous cell vitality training last weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and the practitioners were really amazed at everything we were doing. And we talked about the theory, and we talked about also the practical side of raising cell vitality, raising oxygen levels, raising the body charge, the resonance of the body, and affecting results that way, where the cell is ready and functioning at maximum health. If that's the case, then it can take oxygen and food in, and it can release the wastes. And we're talking a lot about breathing at the moment, because we're just seeing that people have forgotten how to breathe, they've forgotten how to drink water, they've forgotten how to get on the ground, they've forgotten about the sun, they've forgotten about nature, and all these basic things that we got to kind of almost reawaken. And also at the end of the day, it's just beautiful watching people self-heal and take responsibility for their health. So we're seeing this more and more, and just to awaken that part, because this breathing is the issue, and the toxicity of the brain. So acidosis will hit the brain first, all right? And it also hits the heart, but it does hit the brain. And when you've got an acidic situation, right, high acidity, low oxygen, low blood flow, low excretion of waste from cells, you're on a hiding to nothing, basically. And then the big serious parasites can stay, You generally find there's heavy metal mercuries, there's lead, there's like a blastomycosis fungus, as I said, viruses. There's never only one organism. There will be co-hosting in the brain too. Now, this poor brain of ours is trying to be thinking and clearly and living and helping us live productively, but it's really, really hammered. And of course, when it's dirty and full of toxins and acidic, low oxygen levels, then of course, the hypothalamus, the pineal, the pituitary, aren't really in a position to, first of all, receive signals from the body. And the body's not even signaling the hypothalamus anyway, because the liver's blocked and the blood's dirty. And then all the neurohormonal cascade systems close down. So we get a multitude of things happening. We get the bone affected, we get digestion affected, we get blood sugar, we get the rest of circulation, and we get metabolic shutdown, and we get protein buildup in the body. And I'm going to show you all of this just now. I've got some pictures. It's going to be really exciting. So we get fat getting stored and deposited in all the wrong places. We get the same with protein. We get calcification happening everywhere. And literally, the body starts decaying. It's in a very slow downward spiral. And we get used to that level and we down spiral a bit more. We get used to that level, we downward spiral a little bit more. It becomes absolutely chronic. So we're reversing all of this, and we're reversing it quickly. And people can see the results. They start shining, their energy levels pick up, their body shape changes. And, it's just really is miraculous. So it's beautiful. So toxins will hit the brain first, and they do accumulate in there. And if it's aligned with a leaky gut situation where we've got also fermentation in the gut, which will happen because once the neurohormonal system shuts down, you don't get proper digestion and you don't get absorption properly either. And you get this big fermented mess in the gut. And then these organisms bore through the lining into the bloodstream, and then they also are circulating everywhere. So the gut and the brain are totally connected. And this makes the brain even more full of junk and mess. And then on top of it, we've got also things like radiation, geopathic stress, which we've talked about, magnetic water, and that type of thing. And those energies are not natural. And they will have similarly an equal impact negatively on the cells, the DNA, and the total functioning of the body. So we need to take all of that into consideration when we see people. So I've got a live case study I want to show you, and I want to show you how we improved in about a month. And, there's another very big toxin that accumulates in the brain, and that is aspartame. Aspartame is a NutriSweet. It's an artificial sugar. Tastes sweet, but it's an amino acid, actually. It's not even a sugar-based molecule. And it is man-made. And so it tricks the body, first of all, that sugar's coming. So different secretions start happening in the body, doesn't happen. And also it eats away the neurological side of the body in the brain forever until it's removed. All right, so we have a zero tolerance for toxicity. That's why at our center here in Bryanston, we have infrared saunas, we do have actually ozone, we have massages, and we do acupuncture. And with our product range, we're looking at the body in a whole different myriad of aspects, so that we're presenting electrons to the body in different formats. We will use a paramagnetic rock dust, all right, which has got its own frequency and its own way of magnetizing the toxins out. We'll use a fermented microbiome reset, which brings in the beneficial bacteria, fungi, and yeasts to boost the immune system, also scavenge, but to imprint properly on our DNA, because we are actually 99% of our DNA is from the microbial world. So we need them. So we're coming in with the different electron frequencies and different ways of realigning the body. We use alchemy. Alchemy is magic in a sense on its own, because, salt to gold, how does that happen? Not only gold, it's also silver, copper, nickel, iridium, palladium, osmium, and this is in an M state form, which is not in the normal periodic table metal form or mineral form. So we're bringing those in with very highly charged electron spin, lots of life force, also detox and nourish the body. And we use very high vibrational, nutrient-dense, nature-made food state nutrients like medicinal mushrooms that grow out of the trunk of trees, the algae, blue-green algae, spirulina, chlorella. We use pollens, royal jellies, propolises, and all these superfoods have got their own medicinal functions. And, you know, we really have taken this to the next level. We have really taken these superfoods as medicine, taken Hippocrates as saying, if you like, you know, our food is our medicine is our food. And we honestly believe that. And we've taken it to that level in the quantum medicine field. So nature-made things are in the natural quantum spin anyway. We've left it. Why would we second-guess nature? Why would we second-guess the body? So when these nutrients come into the body and received, the innate potential of the body to heal kicks in. And this is where we see magic and the miracles happening as well. So we leave it to the intelligent forms, okay? But obviously we're intending healing. And we also use the adaptogenic herbs and all the intelligence that they have as well. So, you know, we're bringing all this in. Of course, we're using our quantum devices, the QUEX, Eductus, Gios, because these are bringing in an element of quantum medicine, of electromagnetic fields, and where we use the subconscious of the human to come in onto the world's largest software platform. So we've got all different ways of assessing risk. We also use our Q450, which is a 450 reading only. And then the QUEX quantum will do 11,000 frequencies, not only physical, also emotional, neurological, and spiritual, and puts the whole lot together in a risk factor table for us. And it starts realigning in automatic mode. So as the body heals, it reshifts, it reshifts, it reshifts. So in that hour and a half, that body shifts. There's no chance it can't shift. So it's actually being fed, you know, second by second while we're running in that consultation. So this is really, you know, quantum medicine in the new dimension. And of course it's virtual, so we can reach anyone anytime. All right, so don't think you can get away. We can find you. All right, so that's the important point, is that we really are leading edge. And this is also why we're having the results we're having, because we're not guessing, we're validating, we're verifying, we're tracking progress, we're using the top of the nature-made universe's pharmacy products. And that's just a delight to someone like me who studied pharmacy and realized the place for allopathic medicine, but the really much larger place for holistic prevention of disease. And in fact, we should all be following prevention, because that is the natural way to look at things. So this is how we package everything, we put it all together, and then we get our results. And we, like I said, we don't leave anything to chance. We're not in the belief state. We are totally objective as opposed to subjective. It's hard facts with validated results, and we're tracking progress. So join us. We expanding with practitioners, we're expanding with the devices, the quantum devices, and as I say, we resumed the Immune University lectures now as well. So I urge you to come in and be part of this and raise your knowledge levels, because it's what it's all about. So in a roundabout way, you know, brain toxicity is a very big problem, and Alzheimer's, dementia, 99% of the time, yes, you've got heavy metals and toxins, and you've got big funguses that are growing in there. Big, dirty funguses with cobwebs. They're black. They're repulsive, all right? And we've collected this over the years. And in fact, we've brought it through generation after generation. I actually saw somebody today who still has the remnants of bubonic plague. Now, bubonic plague was a long time ago. So can you see how inherited diseases and disorders have carried down in the generations? And these organisms all carry a consciousness. They all carry an emotion. Right, be it sadness, be it rejection, be it abandonment, be it a group of them together. So our job is to get rid of physical, tangible toxins, neurological toxins, where we have to actually say to people, stop the traffic. There's too much charge going on. It's the wrong spin. And we need to calm everything down and reset and allow adaptogenic herbs to do this, allow the stress defense shield that we have and the brain fuel that we have to come in and do what they need to do. And we need to hop off the treadmill and hop off the lifestyle that we've been living and really give ourselves a chance to breathe and give the cells a chance to also just revitalize and like a flower opening. And we've seen that the emotions and the stress, what they do to the DNA, they wind it up so tight, the protein, that it renders the genes and the little foci ineffective. They might be there, but they can't work either. This year is about you, all right? And it's about restoring yourself, breathing properly, drinking properly, looking at all of those factors so that we can think clearly and live productively and steer ourselves in the direction we need to go in. I can't give you that. Nobody can give it to you. You're not going to find it out there. You're going to find it inside. You're going to find it in the highest consciousness level that you can get to right now. And the 365 products and nutrients are geared to raising consciousness, and so are the devices that we use. So, you know, there's no excuse and there's no hit or miss here. We are guided towards doing that for everyone. And these are all our tools that help us get there, totally objectively. So let's really take the pressure off the heart, off the brain, off the emotions, and let the DNA unfold, our purpose unfold, where we're marrying what we need to do with an occupation, which is called your vocation. What were you here? What is your vocational work? All right. And if you are stuck, speak to me. We can get a natal chart read for you. We can do unconscious searches and choices on the devices as well, and actually start pinpointing your passion and what's really, you know, driving you this lifetime. And yeah, so we're having, you know, great results. But once the mind and the emotions and the spirit and the physical is aligned, once we can think clearly and live productively, and that's 365 days a year, probably 24/7, you know, we have the choice. And so yeah, we're using you know, trained practitioners to guide humanity. So let's have a look at some of our case studies. Now, this first one I wanted to mention to you. I'm going to read it because I don't have pictures for this one. So what happened here, unless there are any questions. All right, so this lady, elderly lady in her 70s, lockdown happened. She got really fearful, very afraid. She couldn't go to her friends. She couldn't move. She was stuck. And this played on her neurologically. And she was put onto a whole host of psychotropic drugs for the brain. All right, highly scheduled medicine. And as a result of all of this, two of them interacted terribly. Absolutely critically terribly. And this is the problem with, I'm a pharmacist, this is the problem when you start using really highly scheduled products, and maybe sometimes 2 or 3 different practitioners are working together, sometimes it's only one. But because you're dealing with synthetic chemicals and toxins, sometimes you get a potentiated toxic effect, which actually happened to this lady. And what happens is that you lose your muscles. Your muscles don't work anymore, and you can't get up, and you fall, and all of that kind of thing. So it's very, very bad, and you feel incredibly weak. So anyway, this went on for actually a couple of months. It was terrible, and then she went and they changed her medication again, and this was in January, and then she moved up to her daughter. And the daughter then came to me and said, Jane, look, we've got to do a detox. I need my mom back. She's just not my mom anymore, and it's just really, really serious. So we set about doing a detox for her, and they came last week. And I'm just going to read. We gave a very nice liver and kidney cleanse, because the liver had really been hammered from these medicines, the kidney as well. So we had to restore and cleanse. So you'll see with our products, we restore and cleanse. It's not just a cleanse, because we've got to rebuild at the same time. So we gave that. We also, her DNA was really missing in the replica RNA DNA. She was missing the nucleoproteins. So we had to give her, we had to repair the genes, start every cell division into more perfect alignment. We gave her the Ormus Gold to raise her energy levels, because she was flat, her battery was flat. So we all know now the Ormus Gold is going to raise the energy levels, right? So that was just beautiful. That happened automatically to recharge her. We gave her Cell Vitality Oxy Minerals to start resetting the cell membrane, because there was bone problems, there was blood sugar problems, circulation problems, and we needed to reset that completely. We gave her the microbiome reset, which is our fermented probiotic live with live enzymes, also to start healing the gut, because that was the third organ that needed to be addressed. Remember, our organs are organs of detox. If they're blocked, then you're going to overload the lungs or overload the skin. And I'm going to show you an overloaded skin in a moment. So we needed some iron, which we brought through with our spirulina and our kelp. And then the vitamin B and K is getting made by our microbiome reset in the gut, right? And our vitamin D is coming from the medicinal mushrooms, the ergosterol in the medicinal mushrooms. So she got that. And we also gave her a nice digestive enzyme with betaine hydrochloric acid. The reason for that is people stop breathing properly, and the gut becomes alkaline and the body becomes acid. So we need to reverse that quickly, so she could digest her food, so we could get back to homeostasis just for a month. And I saw there were very big toxicities in her as well, sodium lauryl sulfate, and then also the allopathic medicines. We also told her to not have lots of heated oil, because that way we saw that accumulating in the blood and making the blood thick. We asked her to earth, to get back earth energy, electrons, and also to thin the blood and reduce inflammation. Now also to avoid corn, domestic mushrooms, soya beans, white potato, which she were really intolerant or allergic to, but lots of parsley, lots of buckwheat, lots of apples, lots of sage tea, and lots of aduki beans and chia seeds, and to only have the cold pressed oils. So this was Our Lady, and I want to read to you. In fact, Monday we did the quantum assessment last week, and then her daughter came on Monday morning early to collect the products. So just because we turn our quantum device off doesn't mean that everything stops, right? Because quantum is scalar. It's auto-focusing. It's shifting all the time. We're in the quantum space, right? But when we come in with one of our devices, it's amplified for healing. So the scalar waves become more perfect, but they don't stop. So the healing goes on and on and on. And I must actually give you a story about another lady. I've just made a note of this. So she's received everything. And she said to me, her tummy's unsettled and I must be careful, because it's, imagine all the from having all the medicines and things. And then today, she writes and she says, Jane, the feedback on my mom, she's doing marvelously better. Now this is less than a week, okay? Whereas for the past 2 weeks, I've been feeding her morning and lunch. She now picks up the cutlery herself and she eats. Her appetite is better and she's not arguing with me at meal times. She knows she's stronger, so she's refusing help in the shower. She's showering herself. And the improvement is remarkable. Within days, she's more independent. Thank you very much. Now, these are people who never knew me before. They put their trust into everything that we were doing, and this is just miraculously. And I just, really with gratitude and huge contentment and, awe. I think that's just beautiful. And hello, we've also got Dr. Reggie Reddy here as well. We've got Poran, we've got Anna Judith, we've got a lot of you, but I just can't actually pick you out. So actually, Dr. Reddy, this is your referral that I've just been speaking about. So we on the button there. And thank you for that and for thinking of me in 365. All right, so that's a great one. Now we've got another lady who, let's talk about these two. So what's happening out there? People are not breathing properly. They're not exercising. As I said, they're not drinking water. They're not in nature. They are, I don't know, on a treadmill, going nowhere. And they wear their bag here, their cell phones in their bag, and everything's near the breast, and the lymphatic system's stuck, and it gets blocked, and more and more heated fat, more and more heated fat, more stress, more heated fat. The lymphs get blocked, and the breast can't drain anymore. So 95% of breast cancer has got to do with a blocked lymphatic system, a blocked ducts in the breasts. They can't drain. They get full of rancid, putrefied oil that gets parasites and toxins. They can't leave, and it becomes a disaster. And the next thing, we get degenerative tissue. All right. So the next thing that normally happens, and this is just how it is, part of the course, the breasts get removed, and so does the lymph glands, right? So then I get people coming here for infrared saunas twice a week because the lymph can't clear anymore. So they haven't changed lifestyle at all. They've still got underwire bras, the radiation's coming in, and the one breast that's left, whatever, but the lymph still can't clean us. Now, and anyone can come in at any time as well and chat here. But so what's happening is we're getting this really high amount of lymph that can't leave now because the main lymph nodes are removed. So two people I have now where the lymphatic cells and glands of the stomach are overloaded and they're leaking into the gut, and the stomachs are swelling, and they're having to go and get this lymph fluid removed, yellow lymph fluid removed. It just goes from one thing to the next to the next. So what we need to do is always get to the root cause. If the root cause is lack of exercise, lack of movement of the lymph, handbag here, cell phone in the handbag, underwire bra, poor diet, we're just asking for trouble. And it goes from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. Right? And nobody's really picking it up. So these things are serious. And, I just wanted to share that with you. But now the one lady called me, and it's really, really, on a level where the catheter's bleeding and all this kind of thing. And there's intense pain. And the quantum devices are helping. This lady's not near me, so it's a virtual consultation. And she called me and she said, Jane, that's intense pain, whatever. Please just put me on as soon as you get a gap, as soon as you get a gap. So I'd done work on Saturday, on the Sunday. This was already the Wednesday, and a gap never came. And I was getting quite worried about it because, these devices are hot. I've got a few of them, and they're warm because they just literally we're moving people, the next one and the next one. And I never had a gap for her. So in the morning, Thursday morning, I get this massive call. Jane, thank you so much for putting me on the device. I've completely shifted. I'm in a new space. And I'm reading this and I'm thinking, okay, so I see what happened. Here's my learning. We've got to sometimes wait for 3 or 4 days, which they tell you anyway when you train, because there's a cycle that's running through. I have subsequently put her back on, but there's a cycle that happens, and I'm demonstrating that it doesn't just stop when we close the device. Okay. And I've told you about the lymph now, right? And this is male and female. Right, and there's another lady. Let's talk again also about fat and gallbladders and liver and our diet. All right, fat, calcification, and protein buildup are basically killing the human race. They are the biggest toxins that are clogging the blood. And I'm going to show you some pictures and photographs and things in a nice case study just now. I would say 1 in 3 people right now have a blocked gallbladder. That means the funnel's blocked between the liver coming out into the small intestine, and the bile acids are not being secreted. Problem with that is bile acids digest and metabolize oil. Whether it's organic, cold pressed, or cold pressed, at least you've got enzymes, but the bile acids are so important. And similarly, if the liver's blocked and the blood's blocked and the hypothalamus is blocked, you're not getting cholecystokinin released either, which is also helps with fat and oil metabolism. So there's a lady at one of our health desks in one of the health emporiums, and she came in, she sat down, she trusted everything I told her. It made perfect sense to her. I showed her on the graphs. I showed her where the gallbladder was sitting. I showed her the liver and blah, blah, and she took a couple of products. And she asked me a couple of questions in the week. She came back the next week because I was back at the help desk. And she came up to the help desk. She was looking 10 years younger. Her hair had a bounce in it. And she was bouncing. And she walked up to the table and she said to the 2 people sitting with me, whatever she says, listen to her. She said, look at me. She said, Jane, I did that gallbladder flush. She said, I have never felt better. She said, I'm on an absolute roll. And it was just so delightful to see somebody beaming. So there again, I mean, who measures whether the gallbladder is functioning or not? No, they'll just whip it out. So we've got to really get back to lifestyle, nutrition, and root causes of disease. And you know, it's almost like running your business with an accountant who doesn't have accounting software package. How are you ever going to really diagnose and pick up where the problems are, where the products are that are unprofitable? How are you ever going to really make an informed decision on your business? Same with health. Unless we are using the latest software package and making proper informed decisions with devices that are registered with FDA or validated and verified with CE marks, etc. We're trying to do something on a human level that we're way ahead of that right now. All right. That lady arrived at the food emporium. She had no intention of having a health test. She was guided to the table. She sat down for 10 minutes. She understood. She bought 4 products. It has fundamentally changed her life. All right. Changed her emotional state, changed her mental state, changed her spiritual state. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I'm showing you actually how simple it is because, and I'm seeing some more of you joining us, which is absolutely, absolutely awesome. Okay, good. You see what I'm saying? So that's a good story. And I'm telling you, there's hundreds of the gallbladder stories. And there's other things that go with it, but I just isolated it because she came to mind when I was preparing. So we've done drug toxicity. We've got lymph drainage. We've done breast cancer. We've done, what happens when the lymph can't come out. It comes out the gut. We've done now gallbladder. And, now I'm going to do skin. Let's do the skin. This is Sandra. Now I'm just going to quickly go to WhatsApp and just open up. Yeah, what I saw. Right, oh my gosh, never mind. Right. So this lady came to me, and you can see this was top to toe. She had tried everything. She'd been everywhere. She'd even tried the cortisone. Nothing was helping. And they begged me to fit her in. Just look at that. She came in, she sat down. I took our wound spray. I sprayed the other arm. And instantly, I'm just going to try and make this a little bit bigger. I think you can see. Instantly, I think I could make it a bit bigger there. These little they were little pustules. Let's just see here. I can make it bigger for you. There were little pustules all over thing, like little blisters with stuff oozing out. She hadn't slept in, I don't know, 2 weeks or something. She was absolutely mentally exhausted, and I never had time to do the full QUEX, the quantum skio on her, all right, because I squeezed her in anyway, but I knew that I had to act quickly. So she came and we gave her, I sprayed her arm, as I was telling you, and as we were sitting there, the arm it got very warm, and all these hives flattened. Within 45 minutes, they flattened, and the itch started reducing. And we gave her a whole lot of other things. I don't have it in front of me, but anyway, we gave her a whole lot of things we gave her flaxseed oil, we gave her the microbiome reset as well, we gave her almost gold, and I said to her also that she needs to spray herself. I gave her loads of spray, and I said spray whenever, and don't put anything on, just only use cold pressed coconut oil or flaxseed oil. She said, Jan, I don't want coconut oil. I'm going to just use flaxseed oil. So I said, okay, fine. So we did this and we did this and we did this. Now I'm waiting for the break. I'm waiting for the text to say to me, Jane, I'm feeling the text isn't coming. Okay. So we don't run a business that says, come back in 3 months time. So I'm just pulling her up here again. So now I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting to hear from her. And but I also noticed on her legs and stuff there was huge parasite rashes, infections, and I could see, because I can recognize that it goes across the bridge of the foot. It's insanely itchy, and it goes up the calf, the front of the shin, basically. So I saw all those parasites there as well, and I knew I'd given her enough things to rectify that. Anyway, so I'm waiting and waiting, and I said to her, stay in close contact with me. I want to hear. Anyway, Sunday morning, she's due to go back to her home, which is 5 hours or an hour plane drive away from her family and everything. And I said to her, listen, let me put you on the quantum device and let's see what we do. I needed to know what was causing this itch. Okay, so I put her on, number one, benzene chemicals. And then I knew immediately. So she was full of chemical toxicity, and number one being the benzene. Benzene they use in a lot of things. You even find it in decaffeinated coffee. You find it in the laundry solvents. You find it in a lot of industrial products. So I then used the quantum, and we potentiated everything we were doing. And she got home, and then I heard from her, and she said to me, I just want to get there. She said she'd managed to sleep for 2 hours the one night. She said, I'm hoping to get some sleep. And then she says, I slept for 2 hours. So that was already new. I already knew that there was the marks of hallmarks of a turning point. And then then I asked her for some more pictures, and she sent some, and you can actually see that all those suppurative hives, leaking pussy ones, are starting to dry up. So she says here that the skin is definitely drying. The itch is getting much less. The skin's getting dry. That's her main concern right now. She's had 3 to 4 hours of sleep. And the last message I saw, she has had 5 hours of sleep. That's a lot for someone who hasn't slept for so long. Then she says definitely the swelling, inflammation going down. And she wants to put something on her skin now. And she says that her body's detoxifying. She said the heartburn's less, the cramp in the legs is less. She felt one of the ribs, and that's got less. And she said Jane, I believe yesterday, was the turning point when the swelling definitely started to go down. The skin was also very dry, and she said it's 1 week after treatment. That's 7 days. And this was hectic. Now, what had happened was it was her gut, her liver, her kidneys were blocked. The lung was okay. So what happened was there was an overload on the skin. So you know what? The body will decide to detox according to its own alignment. And she's busy selling her house, and it was a turning point in her life as well. She was letting go of a lot of things emotionally and neurologically and so on. And so we also processed all of that too. So the body decided to let go of all these massive, terrible toxins at the time that it did. And it's happened to be her before, and that's why she wanted to look for a natural way to improve. So she says, but she said everything started subsiding, and she said she hopes that helps me. So I'm just going to see if I can find her picture for you. I should be able to. And then I just want to show you what the drying of the skin looks like. And this is a good one. Oh, sorry, I just haven't shared the screen. All right, so here we see, look at this is all dry. This was all oozing and pussy. The whole lot is drying up, and that's an indication that we have shifted out masses and masses and masses. This poor lady, there's the parasite, there's all parasites as well, mixed up. Okay, I haven't even talked about that because the amount of parasites in her body was also just beyond a level of anything normal. So that's our lady there, and I'm almost sleeping better because I was really, really, really feeling for her. It's really must have been horrendous. So anyway, now she's taking loads and loads of flaxseed oil, like 4 tablespoons a day, and we really are oiling her, nourishing her with oil from the inside to bring that oil, proper oils to the skin. And then obviously as well, we're using Ormus Balm, which is our Ormus with the very special oils as well. And just taking you to the next level. But we have broken the cycle. And that's the break I was waiting for. So I'm just so delighted with her. Just wait for the break, you see. And then I've got a few more things to talk about. One of the things that's coming up a lot is people's vocation. I did speak about it, and people are being shifted. The soul is shifting them away from the old paradigm occupations into their vocation and living their purpose. So look out for that yourself and double check in on that too. Getting a lot of people who are still looking outside for answers and reluctant to look inside, reluctant to meditate, reluctant to be quiet. So we want to bring that quietness in. We talked yesterday also about on the immune lectures. We talked about radiation. We talked about the Earth Schurmann resonance. We talked about God conscious resonance, which is really cosmic microwave radiation that we all have access to. We are being exposed to it 24/7, and this cosmic microwave radiation is shifting our DNA, it's shifting our consciousness, whether we like it or not. It's the highest consciousness, along with solar flares, along with the earth shifts, along with the morphogenic field. And so these are things we need to know about because, and very slightly, if the earth shifts, it can affect our brainwaves, it can affect our anxiety, it can affect our feelings of depression, inadequacies, and all of that, but slightly, not a lot, but it can and does. So we need to also give ourselves time to step back in a day and to breathe a bit and to really key in. And I think to take advantage of this wonderful miracle time right now where we can shift in a heartbeat. And so it's really beautiful to be around right now. And, I'm just noticing the people that are very in tune are experiencing, different frequencies in the day and different shifts. I'm personally spending, as I said last night, at least 30 minutes a day bare feet in the morning and again in the evening, midday if I can. I'm wanting to just ground the whole time. You know, we talked about the earthing mats, we talked about the pendants. You know, I mean, I've got these with me and on me all the time because I'm wanting to try and stay as stable, as central, as anchored as possible, you know, for these shifts. And if we go into concrete buildings, live in caves as such, we are shielded. We are not going to shift. You know, if we're in four-cornered building rooms with flat ceilings, there's no scalar wave there. That building, that room is draining us. It's draining us of our electrons, and everything we're talking about is about electrons. So we want to really, you know, at every moment possible, take cognizance of this fact and capitalize on the natural frequencies that are out there. Every second, there's 7 to 10 potent lightning strikes on the earth at any one place, recharging the earth's energy, making with electrons, keeping the Schurmann resonance balanced for us. So there's a lot going on out there that we need to tap into, is what I'm really saying. All right, and now I want to show you some other bloods, and I'm waiting for these people to come back. I just want to show you what a live blood can look like, and when I talk about protein building up, when I talk about fibers in the blood, I want to show you what it can look like and why, when we say that the blood is thick, what I'm really meaning here. Now, this is blood. This is all the red blood cells stuck together. This is highly stressed, highly sticky. All right? All of these white things, it's aggressive forms of candida, all the little black ones, it's all parasites, man-made, normal, our own body defenses coming in. There's a tiny little white blood cell over there, hardly even functioning. But look at the size of these organisms. I mean, they're huge. And I want to tell you something, that they all started moving on the screen, and the screen was just alive with this really, really hectic. Let me just go back there, sorry. This hectic blood. You know, when I take photographs, that we take photographs anyway. Oi, hold on. Just a moment. Okay, just a moment. I don't know actually what's happening here. You see, I've got a quantum skier on here at the same time. Just a moment. Okay, everyone. You know what? I've got about 15 things going on the computer. So just decided not to show us that blood. Maybe the blood was too disgusting to show us. I'm just pulling something through now. Okay, I'm just pulling a few slides through now that I really want to show you something really impactful. And then let's do that. And then if I get a chance, let's just try. Let's just have a look at some of this blood again. This is the same one. Now you see all that fiber. So we've seen parasites, we've seen fiber, we've seen sticky red blood cells. And we've seen a massive, massive toxin over there. More of these protein fibers. This body is not breathing properly. There's not a proper digestion happening. And there's fat buildup, there's protein buildup, and there's also calcification buildup. And this was very bad. I just don't even know how this body's even functioning. Just really, really bad. I think we've seen that one. We've seen these. You see, just look at that, full of organisms, full of complete muck. So, you know, I hope you don't mind me showing you these pictures, but I want to show you what people come in with. What people walking around that you're passing day by day, could be you too, are actually what your blood looks like. And then when we say to you, or Dr. Reddy says to you, you know, you're not breathing properly, look what happens. There's no digestion. The bones get sore. The circulation slows down. The blood sugar goes up. The digestion, as I said, is virtually non-existent, and we just get metabolic shutdown. The cell says, "I'm also breaking down. I'm not happening." The toxins can't be released. You get buildup of toxins. You start getting degenerative tissue. That can't be us. We don't want that. And the object of these talks is to show you, you know, physically what we're seeing. So here's a nice case study. And so before we start, this is a young guy, and history of Ritalin from the age of 5, moving over onto more and more strong stuff, then moving on to cocaine, probably age about 15, 16, 17, cocaine, and then everything else you can think of as well, because you know, the Ritalin and sugar are precursors to drug abuse in any event. And dropped out of school, floated around. I don't know. He tells me he doesn't want to actually tell me how many kilograms of cocaine he used a month. Come out of all of this, is actually happily married, does have children, all the rest of it, but you have the remnants of all of this in you. All right, he's done some detoxification, but not all came out. So now we're working with the most powerful device on the planet. I can say that categorically, right? We're working with the quantum device because it's working with your subconscious. So I'm getting information straight back, able to speak to him about it from the software. So I want to show you what we've done, what we've achieved in a month. All right, this is scientific now. And go back to the presentation. So this is a live study where we used both. This is the blood, different kind of a picture of the blood, but there was, by the way, lots of post-nasal problems, obviously, from the drugs, okay? So there's this deterioration and damage in the whole sinus area, nose area, which we are getting rid of, but just a host of organisms living in there, including mycoplasma, which is TB. So, there's just acid everywhere, acid crystals, huge protoplasts here, which is a combination of from anything the body doesn't recognize, plastic to heavy metals to food additives to, you name it. It forms a big conglomerate mass in the blood. This is all slowing the blood down. These little round ones are mycoplasmas. They were huge. Some of them were huge. They were floating around the screen. Dr. Reddy's a dentist. When you go see him, I mean, he's cladded because people are breathing. And, this kind of stuff is real. So we've got to work out, how much of this we're going to be sharing with our friends, basically. But this was really a mess. As I say, the organisms were crawling across the screen as well. And the energy is hyper energy. Even the lady who had the benzene chemicals and parasites, it's a hyper energy. It's not smooth and calm and biological. It's in a state, right? And the brain's going and the talking is second to none, and it's a tiring space. And it's a drain, it drains. So we got to really calm this whole thing down. So let's just go then and start seeing what we did. So these are risk factors, and for those of you who are can you see that value there is 158, I think. So this is the top risk factor gap. The risk factors need to be 100. All right, and this was a month ago. Complete chronic fatigue, complete adrenal shutdown, stress, bacteria, bone stress, food poisoning in the gut, immune system low, environmental toxins, a big fat amoeba living there, inherited disorders too. This patient is the one with bubonic plague. Right? So each time they come, there's another layer of the onion that gets sorted out. So lots and lots of acute problems there. And at the bottom here, not too many chronic. All right. So we're dealing with quite a lot of acute situation. Then we have a look at today. And the highest risk is 126, 125, 121. Now we're dealing with the gut. The food poisoning, digestion, the sugar regulation, and upregulating the immune system. But you can see already the immune system was 126 there. It's already 119 there. And different picture. We've removed the stress and the chronic fatigue. We've charged the body, and I'm going to show you how we've charged the body. All right, and we're dealing now more with down the bottom here. Also, not to, this is mainly, but can you see how all the acute risks have lessened? They've lessened in the risk factor gap, and they've lessened in the value, degree of severity, the amount of gap to close. So that's just marvelous. That's marvelous. That's in 1 month of being on our products and the quantum device. I just think, oh, this is incredible. And I'm never failed to be surprised. Now, this one here, we're looking at hormone levels. Now have a look at the adrenaline level to start with. Look at what we're dealing with. 223 out of 100. There's prostaglandin, there's inflammation, a bit of pineal, the pituitary, the ability to relax, the 196. ACTH, the hormone to relax, 196. Now come and have a look over here on this one. And you can see the adrenaline has gone from 223 to 138. Right? This is a different being that walks in. This is not a being that's over talkative, that's hyper, that's not focusing. This is a considerable improvement. Medical miracle. Right? Histamine 101, 114 to 101. Beautiful. Look at the pineal pituitary cleaned, 113 to 103. Then the ACTH, right? 196. And the corticotrophin as well as, but anyway, down to 121. That's just incredible. And then we've got some more hormone levels here. And have a look here as well, because you're seeing a growth hormone of 167. You're seeing testosterone 166. You're seeing levels there. There's your pituitary. And we're looking at, this is just magic, guys. We're looking at oxytocin levels 144, dopamine, your willingness to do things. I mean, he came today and he's already restructuring. I can read you off my case notes. He's restructuring his life. He's restructuring and repositioning himself. He's really moving forward. We sorted the dopamine out. We recharged the battery. We got rid of the lack of just willingness to do anything, the apathy. And look at that serotonin level, lack of serotonin, 256. And now we come over here and look at this, 121. We've closed that gap, oh my word, from 226 to 121. The dopamine level went from 221 to 129. And the oxytocin level, and that is the love, that's the bonding level, 142 to 112. This gentleman tells me that the family is calm. The family's calmed down. I mean, I just think this is absolutely phenomenal. You know, we've really got to thank the universe for this, because it's given us the ability to do this kind of thing. I don't want to take too much of your time, guys. We can spend a lot of time on this, but honestly, these are vitamin levels. And I mean, these, look at all of these. They're all risk factor gaps. Vitamin D, 67. And we never directly gave him vitamin D, 67. I gave him the medicinal mushrooms, right, which have got the ergosterol, which is plant cholesterol. When you walk out into the sun, the UV light hits that ergosterol in your body, forms vitamin D. We know how to do it. We don't have to take vitamin D that's combed off or scraped off the back of sheep. All right, we know how to remake it. And I just thank that I was given this information, all right, and researched and got it. I mean, that's just one of them. All right, the usage of vitamin K has gone up because we are rebuilding. He has the ability now to rebuild the collagen and rebuild all the damage. So his body's asking for it now. It's a slightly different kind of a picture. But even I know that one was stuck out quite significantly to me. So when these levels are above 100, so to move from 90 to 134 is better. So the protein digestion was better, for example. Anyway, so that's just on a purely nutrition level. And here's some more areas of concern. So you see here, last time, adrenals were the most important area of concern. Today, it's the food poisoning. We've got to get that amoeba out. That amoeba's been eating the serotonin, eating the dopamine, eating the GABA. And I can tell you something. I bet you since the age of 5, that amoeba's been there. I bet you it even came in hereditary-wise with an emotion, and it's ancestral. I can tell you that. That's what happens. And that little child that was put on Ritalin was actually a crime. Mom was doing her best. She was doing her best. She did what she was told. It's not a blame thing. But can you see how this pattern evolved in this person's life? Here's the toxicity panel from last week. So I just want to show you what we pick up. All right, there's street drugs, 51 out of 100. Still in the interstitial cells, still embedded. Until we work with something that I didn't get a chance to do this today. But until we start working with proper nutrients, lifestyle, electromagnetic frequencies with the quantum devices, we're not getting to where we need to be. Huge food additive toxicity, huge metal filling toxicity, mercury, more heavy metals. Huge. Look at this leaky gut. I told you about that. Stomach violation, constipation, huge blocked gut, emotions, and all the rest of it that goes with it. Forming alcohol in his body. Doesn't have to drink alcohol. He's forming it through the fermentation in this gut. Mental retention of toxins. I told you about that. Couldn't stop talking. Really need to calm all of this. Here are all the organisms. High levels of funguses, high levels of biowarfare, high levels of rickettsias, spirochetes, high levels of viruses. Sodium lauryl sulfate, lipid deposition, protein deposition, calcification. I talked, this is a classic, this case study. And here we have the end and the most beautiful results. So let's just focus on this one first, because this is a goodie. All right, so this is our dashboard, and this is what we work with. Let me just start again. Sorry. I want to get here. So these figures are not too good. But anyway, we started on oxygen level of 55. And our doctor already sitting in the group with us, and there's some other doctors, right? An oxygen level of 55, if you went to hospital, they would put you immediately on oxygen because we can't function at 55. That's that dirty blood I showed you, right? When we ended up, it was on 72, so that was in 1 hour, the shift. So I said to you, everyone shifts. The hydration level, the ability to use oxygen went from 69 to 86. This is resistance. All right, resistance to electron flow, toxicity. In that one session, we moved from 62 to 79. We freed up the body. We detoxed. You saw the toxicity panel. The brain amplitude went from 77 to 94. And this last little one here, sorry. Right, the voltage. We charged this battery. We went from 76 to 93% capacity. We stabilized the pH. Electrons, we still needed some more. We had a cell vitality of 4. Before we started, it was 1. The body resonance here was low. It was below 1,000. So that was improvement in 1 month. Now, let's get to today, where I brought the same values through. So where you see, what's a 77 here? Huh? Right. So where you see the 77, no, sorry, the 56. Where was it? Maybe that's 56. Let me just see here. That's correct. That 55 there, that line there, that yellow line there is the white line here. Last visit, okay? And that's that. Then forget about the gray. Then today when we started, the oxygen levels were up to 70. So that's the shift that anchored it. The resistance to flow, the use of water. The gray ones are where we left off today. Resistance to flow, the brain amplitude looking nice, and the voltage, the charge looking very nice. Brought the pH back. Can you see the cell vitality is 8? So that's music to anyone's ears, because your cells can now function properly. And that's why we do cell vitality courses. We do courses on oxygen, courses on detoxification and brain amplitude. So we detox the brain, and the resonance frequency is very nice as well. So I'm going to have an unbelievably good sleep tonight, because I think these are all unbelievably good jobs well done. And I've got another one, but I think we're having remarkable effects all over the place with epilepsies, with other lymphomas and so on, but we'll do some more next week. I think I've given you quite a lot to think about regarding today. And I would like to just open up the chat. I don't think you can sit through this without making some sort of comment. I certainly wouldn't be if I was listening to something like this. So maybe you made comments before we shifted to here, but let's just hear what you might think in terms of what I've presented here today. Anything to share? Yeah, I think there's no doubt that these kind of methodologies and what we're onto is really leading us forward in terms of paradigm shifts, quantum medicine, the quantum QUEX that we're using. Anybody who's interested in acquiring one of these devices, we have payment plans for them. The products, they're online, they're available online. And so, there's no real excuse. The people who are worried about payment for an assessment, payment for products, you know what? Get onto the affiliate program. Start referring people and start earning a referral fee. Start educating. Start becoming part of the company, part of the shifts going forward, because you can afford it. All you've got to do is refer people, and you earn your percentage, and you're got your appointment booked. So nobody can say to me that they can't afford it, they can't get in. I don't want to hear that. I've made it plan. Similarly, I've got vocational shifts, those people who want to change their profession, those people who've recently graduated and want to start something new. We have the training courses. Get onto the programs, come in, look at all the courses that are available. And we're only too willing to train, because now's the time. And like I said, speaking about vocations, people are shifting. And what better place to be right now to be health, because it doesn't stop here. It's also sustainable living. It's also about environment. It's also about spiritual. It's also about your academic stimulation. The people that you're with, your recreation, your creativity. So we're offering that whole thing. People come in and get enlivened and be part of the come on board is what I'm really saying, and you can wait until you get another wake-up call and another wake-up call and another wake-up call, or you can decide to shift straight away. The shifting, the moving with the flow, the moving with the planets and things is a here and now. And it's not a logical space. The consciousness is logical. It doesn't give you a choice. It'll give you A, B, C, or D, but you never get there because you're rationalizing the whole time about the different choices. The subconscious and the superconscious, however, are where the universal flow is and are where the answers are. And nobody walking around today on the planet who can't walk on water is actually out of school. We are all in school. So, let's learn from devices like this, from products, food state products that we have, and through educators who are catalysts to raise your awareness to get to higher levels. I honestly urge you to send people to us, and let's just keep on with this database of case studies. They're going to be published. So So it's very, very nice. It's very, very exciting. And, you know, I just feel very blessed to be in this position where I can really, you know, create massive shifts and shifts and quickly. Okay, all we need is a willing patient. And by now, most people have had enough. And they are actually shaping the future of humanity and their families by breaking these legacies that have been brought on and brought on and brought on and hashed and rehashed and rehashed. Yeah, so the vocational work is about coming in, learning a device, learning about the products, and being able to help people. You earn an income. You earn an income on your consultations. You earn an income on the product. You become a branch. It's perfect. We're having a practical business management course this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Come in. Bring your information in. I'm giving it to everybody on a silver platter, if you like. Right? Training, getting the motion, getting the movement, getting things really working. We're in an awesome space right now. So yes, I am saying that. And what am I also saying? Do it alongside what you're already doing. Help. We need to serve humanity right now. And what I'm saying to you is there's an income to support what you're doing, as well as the help and the healing. I mean, the comment there, you know, about showing the shifts, my gosh, if your accountant can't show you the proper shifts in your products and the products that have increased in profitability, and I just keep going back to this point of, if your dentist can't show you an x-ray and show you, my goodness, look here, we've rebuilt the connective tissue in your teeth and we've restored the strength and built the gum, go somewhere else. Because if we're not getting an objective track record, results, you're in the wrong space. Thanks so much. Shame. Yeah, you know, like I said, you know, there's a place for all aspects of medicine, but we've got to go where the shifts are happening. And we've got to get away from chronic medication and chronic illnesses and extreme inflammation, extreme acidity, disconnected, just total disconnect, you know, and because this is what's ruining us. So Sandra, the kind of protocols is, I mean, I repeat them and I post them so many times. So just go up and down our messages and you'll see, you know, we do the assessment and then we see what the risk factors are. We reset, first of all. You've got to reset and restructure, because otherwise you can throw food at a body and cells that are not going to take it, and you're wasting your time. I don't care what the blood levels are. It's not going inside the cell. I don't care what your external pH levels are. I want the pH level inside the cell measured, please. Because that's where it's all happening. So, you know, it depends on the individual person, but the practitioners get absolutely trained in what goes first. And I have many of them, and they are doing famously. So, you know, more of that next time. And when they've got some more to share. So, yeah, guys, until next time. That was our live session today, and I hope you take the gems. I hope you use them and just get encouraged to come on board and come and be part of the very dynamic situation. You know, I feed off this. You know, people say, how do you keep going? How do you keep doing this? I feed off it because these are just miracles, and the energy field is in a much higher space. So, you know, I'm working on myself too, obviously. You know, I'm not going to talk about something that I haven't put into practice. So, and I don't expect you to either. That's why people who come in, you come in as an affiliate. Buy your box of products every month. It's your food. Because otherwise you're not being authentic. Don't talk about something you've heard about or read about or you were trained on. be it. Be the change, be the authentic part of it all. You know, the practitioners are already. They're starting to feed off their own results too. So just all amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, guys, so until next week, I'll post stuff. I'll keep you all posted, and please also post any of these random outside courses. Just send it to me first as well. Random outside things on vaccinations. I think we're all ahead of the curve. We don't want to hear about viruses anymore. We know exactly what's going on. We know exactly about the mRNA fragment. So let's not post old stuff and stuff like that. You know, let's just observe the Immune University, Desi, myself, 365, because this energy is on a very high level, okay? The consciousness is very high, and we want to keep it like that, as you all are. Thank you. Invite your friends to come and join. I used to send the link out, and then we got hacked here and there. So, but if you do want the link, I'll give it to you. And yeah, the affiliates, just start marketing. There are so many opportunities happening. No excuses. No excuses for those cobweb toxins to be resident in your body either. Okay, have a good rest of the day, everybody. I really, really appreciate you coming through, and it's been amazing. And as I said to you, I've got someone on the skier on this computer and all sorts of things. So just forgive the IT shutdown. All right. See you soon. Maybe on the weekend. This practical business workshop is online as well. So you can come in. If you come in, I've got beautiful vegetarian food for afterwards. And that's on the house, obviously. And I'm going to be sending out the worksheets tomorrow to prepare. And you can do it online as well. It's absolutely perfect. Right. So some of you, let's get shifting. Those that are shifting, beautiful. Okay. Bye.